The negative 100 rule is one of the most useful as well as unique concepts in Cabinet Pro that allows our cutlass and CNC processing to be essentially material independent. For better viewing during the following explanation, I have colored the outline of our cabinet top green and the outline of our cabinet's unfinished end blue. Throughout this video, we will be considering how much the unfinished end is inset into the cabinet top. The word inset is used in Cabinet Pro to refer to how much one part goes into another. Anytime one part is connected to another part by a butt joint, a dado, a rabbet, or an overlap, that connection is called an inset. If we have a zero inset of our unfinished end into our cabinet top, then we would essentially have a butt joint where the unfinished end meets the cabinet top at the very bottom of the cabinet top. If, on the other hand, we want to overlap the entire thickness of the top, then we can enter the thickness of 1/2 of an inch as the inset of the unfinished end into the top, assuming our material is exactly 1/2 of an inch thick. This is fine if our top remains as 1/2 inch material, but what if we change material from 1/2 inch to 3/4? Notice that our top is no longer being completely overlapped. Viewing the cabinet from its side makes this more obvious. This is where we have a problem because our inset will still be the 1/2 inch that we entered, and our 3/4 inch top will not be completely overlapped by the unfinished end. This will now give us an incorrect cut list unless we remember to change that inset and several others to adjust to our new material thickness. This is where the negative 100 rule becomes invaluable. Let's replace the 1/2 inch inset we entered when our top was 1/2 inch thick with a negative 100 instead, and then view our cabinet. Notice that the top is completely overlapped because the negative 100 entry is now telling Cabinet Pro to find the thickness of the top from inventory and overlap it or inset into it 100% of its current thickness. Now, whether we are using 1/2 inch material, 5/8 material, or any other material, our top will always be completely overlapped by our unfinished end. Make sure you read this notice at the parameter editor to see what other values can have a similar effect as negative 100. If, for example, we enter a negative 33 instead of a negative 100 as the inset of the unfinished end into the cabinet top, then we are telling Cabinet Pro to overlap the top 33% of its current thickness. Viewing this cabinet from the side and enlarged makes this 33% overlap or inset of the unfinished end into the cabinet top more obvious. Now, if we change the material of the cabinet top back to a 1/2 inch birch ply, then like before, Cabinet Pro will automatically overlap or inset into the top 33% of the new thickness. If we choose to manufacture our cabinets with greater precision, we may measure our material thicknesses with a micrometer and enter those values in inventory. In this example, the unfinished end will now be overlapping or be inserted into the top 33% of the more accurate thickness of 0.731 inches. In some cases, the negative 100 rule changes its meaning slightly. If it does, then the change will be explained in the description shown in the yellow box of whatever parameter is currently highlighted. In like manner, some parameters have a negative 200 or negative 300 entry that are both allowed in order to make construction more efficient and less prone to user error. For example, if we place a negative 200 in the same parameter that defines the inset of the unfinished end into the top, we are telling Cabinet Pro to always extend the unfinished end to the top of the face frame or to the top of the cabinet and to totally ignore the cabinet top altogether. Again, this special meaning of negative 200 is explained in the description within the yellow box at the parameter editor. The negative 100 rule is a little complicated to comprehend at first, but once understood, the result of this kind of precision used throughout all parts of all cabinets will result in truly fine cabinetry and joinery rather than joints that are imperfect. And the beauty of this kind of precision from a manufacturing perspective is that it is done at no extra cost to the manufacturer with no extra work or effort.